All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So the Jets are finally playing football this weekend. Man, it's been a crazy last couple weeks, right? The Jets had the bye, coming off this incredible win against the Cincinnati Bengals, this comeback, right? 31-16 in the late third quarter. Again, knocking off the Browns division rival here. What a game, right? What a game. Jarvis Brownlee making that game-winning play. Everyone celebrating. Aaron Glenn. It felt good, right? It felt... draft pick aside, it felt good just to get the monkey off of our back and to finally not be that winless team that everyone, continued to talk about, including myself. It just sucks. No one wants to be winless. Then we have the bye. The trade deadline hits. We move Quinnen Williams for a first, a second, and Mozzie Smith, Sauce Gardner for 2 first-round picks, and A.D. Mitchell at the wide receiver position, along with the Michael Carter trade. Carter in a 7th going to the Eagles for Mechie in a 6th. 3 big-time trades, right? 3 big-time trades where the Jets are going to be saving a ton of money, adding a ton of draft picks for the future. But it might be a little bit of a short-term pain, long-term gain situation, right? Because we know what Quinnen's impact looks like. We know what Gardner's impact looks like and whatnot. So I'm wishing all those guys, including Michael Carter, nothing but the best with their new teams. I hope they go out and they ball, they win a bunch of games, but I'm happy with the compensation. I'm happy with the compensation. I'll leave it there. This week, we got the Cleveland Browns. The 2-win Cleveland Browns coming into MetLife Stadium. Dylan Gabriel going to be the starting quarterback. What's interesting about the Browns, and I really want to hear Browns, if you're a Browns fan and you stumbled upon this video, first of all, man, thank you. But second of all, how do you feel about Kevin Stefanski? Yes, I understand that he brought the team to the playoffs way back when with Baker Mayfield and whatnot, and you feel like he's professional. You feel like he knows what he's doing and he has a system, but there's just something about the offense that to me just feels like archaic a little bit or just way too conservative. Like when I watch this Browns offense, it just feels like they struggle, and they've had some injuries on the offensive line. I get that. You have Jerry Jeudy there, Tillman, but there's a real lack of pass catchers in my opinion. Judkins looks amazing. I'm a big fan of David Njoku. I actually watched him live a lot down in Miami when he was, back with the Hurricanes way back when. But the Browns offense struggles to run the ball. They struggle to complete passes. They don't push the ball down the field. It just feels very much like we're just trying to get out of here. And I don't know, man. Like, I like the Cleveland Browns a lot. Like, from afar, I've always liked Cleveland. They always kind of feel like the underdog to me. And I really want them to turn it around. But with just how this offense looks, it's just so disappointing. So disappointing in my opinion. Personally, if I was a Browns fan, I would like to see Shedeur Sanders. But overall, this offense is just lackluster. I mean, they only average 15.8 points per game, which is not good whatsoever. I believe that's 29th in football or something. But it's weird because on the defensive side, I would say they're amazing. Given they're not ranked number 1, 2, and 3 in like every major defensive statistical category, but I think given the context, understanding that the offense isn't putting up a lot of points, understanding that the offense is constantly punting all the time, keeping the defense on the field. This defense is no joke, man. You have Miles. They're a top 3 team in sacks. I feel like they do a relatively good job at stopping the run. They have numerous players, like just some of the most talented players in my opinion. Some of my favorite players in my opinion. Denzel Ward at corner, Mason Graham, Carson Schwarzenegger is freaking awesome, man. I love Carson. He was my buddy K-Dude's, one of his favorite prospects coming out of UCLA this past draft. He's been unbelievable for Jim Schwartz in this defense. Just a hard-nosed tackling machine. I like the Browns safety unit as well. The defense is awesome. The defense is awesome. They also pick off the ball a lot, which I think is worth mentioning. With that said, how do the Jets fare? Well, Aaron Glenn is going to be keeping the quarterback news at bay. I'm fully expecting it to be Justin Fields this week. And I think really from the Jets' defensive perspective, they match up pretty well. Again, this Browns offense, they've struggled to get the running game going, although I love Judkins. They don't really push the ball down the field all that much. If I'm looking at a Steve Wilkes defense where there's a lot of bump and run, there's a lot of man coverage, there's a lot of press, I think they're against a lackluster wide receiving core. I think the Jets corners could actually have a really good day, right? No Sauce Gardner, Azariah Thomas, step it up. Let's freaking go, man. I'm fired up for AZ. Man, it's just going to be such a fun Sunday, I hope. But again, I think the defense matches up well. We've had the bye week. We've known, the Jets have known that they're going to be playing Cleveland. So you've had extra time to prepare for this Browns team. I like that. From the defensive side, I like that. But here's the question. Offensively, can we, I'm not even going to say duplicate what we saw against Cincy, right? No Garrett Wilson, and we put up 500 yards of total offense. How the hell does that happen? But again, for this week, do the newcomers make an impact? Personally, if A.D. Mitchell's out there, but he's not really having much of an impact, Mechie, same thing. It's not that big of a deal. Personally, I would look for that following week to be the real week where they actually, get in there and make an impact, or at least that's where my expectations are. And here's kind of the elephant in the room. Breece Hall did not get traded. Breece Hall is going to be a part of this team. Breece Hall is going to continue to be fed the rock, right? Or at least that's the hope. There was a report that came out suggesting that the Chiefs offered the Jets a 4th-round draft pick for Breece, and the Jets said, we want a 3rd. Take it or leave it. Chiefs didn't improve the offer. Therefore, Breece Hall is not a Chief. He is a Jet. If you're Muji, I don't think you do that, right? In other words, I think you make that trade. I think you get that 4th-round pick if you don't believe in Breece, if you don't want him back. I mean, a 4th-round pick is really, really good value. Think about what these guys are going for, like late round picks, pick swaps, and whatnot. A 4th rounder is solid. It's the best round on day 3. You could probably still get a pick in like the early hundreds. I mean, Malachi Moore was a 4th-round pick, right? We've seen many 4th-round picks go on to have great careers. If Darren Muji's looking at Breece Hall on Tuesday, right, trade deadline day, and is like, this guy's not going to be here. I don't think he's a good player. He doesn't fit our offense. We don't want to build him here. Why not get the 4th? So I think the Jets want him. I think the Jets want to keep him, at least ride out the rest of this season. So I think for the rest of from here on out, for the remainder of this year, Breece is going to be getting a heavy workload. And we'll see what happens. Again, Cleveland's defense is no joke. They are awesome. Jim Schwartz is one of my favorite defensive coordinators in football. I mean, we've seen some awesome performances from Schwartz in this defense so far this season. Hopefully we don't see one on Sunday. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I am a little concerned with, Fields and the passing attack going up against this Browns secondary. This just feels like it's going to be low scoring. This feels like it could be one of those, 16-10 games, 17-13 types of games. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. And as always, go Jets.